Hey everybody, and welcome back to more Let's Play Secret of Mana. Alright, so I raised up all my weapon levels and ready to go to the next area. Come on, Flammy, pick us up. Let's go. Alright, so we want to go south from here. I think it's south and to the west a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so our next destination is the Lofty Mountains. We're gonna take a quick stop in the village there called Mandala. We're not gonna do too much here, we're just gonna stop off and head off. So we're here in the Lofty Mountains. And our first stop is just around the corner. These blue flowers, I forget what they're called. Let me see. Or maybe not. Trap flowers, that's what they are. If you don't hit them right away when they wake up, they're gonna cast Sleep Flower, as you saw they just did. So yeah, so get rid of them as soon as you see them, or just run away. And here's where we want to go. This cave is the entrance to the Dark Palace. Alright, so we got a choice of two directions here. Remember this middle section, we're going to come back to that later. The left path leads to a dead end, so let's go up the right path. Let's go right by here, and there's more ninjas. They are everywhere. Alright, so you want to come over here, use the axe to cut your way through. That cave up there is another dead end, so don't bother with it. Switch back to the guy. Go to the left here, and you will find a switch. Hit it, and you will make that post up there appear. And you need that switch pressed in order to progress in the area, so make sure you hit it before you move on. Here's another switch. By pressing this switch, that barred entrance we saw before, right at the entrance of the area, is going to open up. We'll come back to that later. We're going to come down here and up through this passage. Take care of more of these Dark Knights. These guys are no big thing. Really easy to defeat at this point. No problems. And in this chest we're gonna get 1,000 gold pieces, which is very nice. And come along here. Dark Knight got whacked, and then it died. Alright, again, that tunnel down there is a dead end. There are a lot of dead ends in this palace. So just stick to the path that I'm telling you about, and you should be fine. No ninja, I don't want to fight you anymore. Watch out for the Emberman. Emberman makes his reappearance. Alright. So now equip the whip. Oop, there's a chest here. Let's see what we got. Fairy walnut, but it won't fit. We'll cross here, and we're gonna hit the switch, and that opens up that cave, which is all the way back. Oh, and I missed the chest. I don't care. There's probably nothing in it. Let's just keep going. Switch back to the sword, because that's my favorite weapon to use. And we gotta go all the way back around. Feel free to fight these guys if you want. They're easy and they're good experience points, so you certainly wouldn't be going wrong if you decided to not skip them and fight them all. And they're easy to defeat. The ninjas I would skip. They can be pesky. Not dangerous necessarily, but they can avoid your attacks more often than not, and they're just kind of more of a pain than the Dark Knights are, so. And we're gonna come right up here again. And up here. Remember, that's the dead end cave. This is the cave we want to go in. Okay, stop trying to attack me. I keep dodging you. And we come up here. We're almost to the end of the area. This is the last little maze-like section. If we hit the switch, you'll notice these flames appear. If you walk between the flames, it creates a bridge, basically. It kind of reminds me of the there was one area in Secret of Evermore. If you've ever played Secret of Evermore, there's an area where there were invisible bridges, and you needed to use a revealer spell, I think it was. It just kind of, and it also kind of reminds me of Chrono Trigger, where you're like right about to fight Magus, you know, and you're entering this really like completely pitch black room, and then these flames show up. Oh, and speaking of showing up, here's the lime slime, which is basically a test from Shade, the dark elemental. It is weak to fire spells, so it might be an idea to spam some lava wave, although I'm not a big fan of lava wave. You know what, I'm not gonna spam fire wave or lava wave. I know what I'm talking about. Anyway, if you're fighting this normally, if you're inside of this slime area, it's going to be extremely hard to move, but the more you attack it, the smaller the lime slime becomes. As you can probably see from what's going on, you can see it's getting much smaller. This is also a good hint as to when it's about to die. And there it goes. Speaking of which, you also notice that it'll change colors a little bit. I don't think that has any bearing on what it's doing or what attacks it's going to use. And feel free to correct me on that if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's just an aesthetic kind of thing. Way to go! And we don't get an orb for this battle, believe it or not. Oh yes we do. We get a javelin orb, we just don't get it right away. Shade says, I am the spirit of the darkness and an elemental of mana. Few have defeated my dark servants. Take my powers as your reward. So we get the Shade's powers, and just like Lumina and the girl, Shade is only available for the sprite. And now that we've got the Seed's power, we can level up our magic yet again. Before we leave, before I end the episode, let's go ahead and go back to the entrance. You remember that gated door that we unlocked earlier? If we go inside, there's a treasure chest, and inside the treasure chest is a gloves orb. So that gives us a couple more weapons to reforge. So let's go ahead and go back to Mandala. There is one thing I'd like to show, and since we have a little bit of time left in the video, we might as well go check it out real quick. So I don't have that much time. But if we come up here, there's like a little hidden area. You might not necessarily notice it, but there's a temple. And inside the temple are these orbs here. Now if you check out each orb, they're referred to as Veedios, V-E-E-D-I-O-S. Of course, we know they're regular videos, and they kind of have little snippets of news programs, or this was obviously a trivia show. Who's Abe Lincoln? Correct. That makes you our new champion. That was Jeopardy. They have a tape of Jeopardy here. So each one of these has something different. These two are both broken, but It's just a neat little thing. So I guess Secret of Mana is kind of set in the future, like an apocalyptic future, I guess. So so yeah, so there's a little hidden Easter egg. I'm gonna go ahead and go visit Watts down here. Well, not really an Easter egg, but a little something. And I'm gonna reforge my glove, and I believe it was the javelin. Yep. So now I got 2 new weapons to level up, and a whole new set of spells. So I will see you back here next time on Let's Play Secret of Mana.